day, everyone. It's me, it's Duke. Can you see him in the picture? It's Griffin and it's Dalton. The whole crew is here today for championship week. Big week, or is it not a big week? We're going to get into it a lot because there's a lot of thoughts and opinions and statements being thrown out there. Does it even matter? Why would you want to play in this? And should they build the calendar to take them out completely? And believe it or not, we're going to get into that because we think it's important enough to talk about. So, Dalton, what's going on, dude?
Not much. Just enjoying the coaching carousel.
Mm,
Everybody's locked up except for Penn State, I think. Um,
Penn State should
I
be
mean,
locked up.
schools have even hired head coaches and OCs before Penn State could get a head coach.
it's not good, man.
But excited for championship week. I love when conference championships are played. I love that they're all packed tight into 2 days. But I'm just looking forward to it. Looking forward to diving into it.
Griff, sup?
What's up? Looking forward to conference championship weekend. I don't really have. I know we're going to get into a lot of this stuff, the college football playoff rankings, coaching carousel, all this stuff. So I'll wait until we get to that. But glad to be here for another week. It feels like the season has absolutely flown by. I feel like just
Ooh, yeah.
a couple of weeks ago we were in June waiting for the season to start. Now it's hitting the afterburners here.
Thinking about LSU being ranked, I think number 3 at one point in this season, is crazy.
Yep.
Remember where Penn State was ranked?
Yes.
They were up there
Yep.
too. I mean, there were some teams up there at the beginning of the season who can't even see that part of the rankings right now. I mean,
Nope.
they are so far back, they can't see over the people in front of
Nope.
them. And that's why we love the sport because you just never know, especially
Yep.
now more than ever. You just freaking never know.
Clemson's
It
a
makes
no
it
one.
fun.
Yeah.
Makes it fun. All right. If you are with us here on pad level on championship week, we appreciate you greatly. We just kindly ask that you subscribe, like, rate, follow. I sound like I'm on a 2010 Facebook post, but I'm not. We're not worried about that. We're trying to go Spotify, YouTube, subscribe or like or follow or rate or all or comment. Do all of them. If you do it all, I bet if you did it all at one time, it would take you less than a minute. Time it and tell me, okay? Time it and come back to me and let me know what you think. Because I think there's a shot it could take less than a minute. Now, we are going to first jump into the college football playoff rankings, and we're going to talk about how they went because while there was only one loss in the top 12, there were two places where there was movement within the playoff bracket. Obviously, the first one would be Texas A&M falling because they lose to Texas. Some would say because Texas A&M didn't really play anybody up until that game after they played Notre Dame earlier in the season. Some would, some wouldn't. But also there was some movement, and this has been a big topic. Alabama was at number 10, Notre Dame was number 9. Alabama plays Auburn in a very close game. Alabama scores late in the game to win. Auburn has a chance to drive down. They're driving down. They're getting the red zone to tie it. Throw it to Cam Coleman, fumbles. Alabama gets it. Alabama went 3 and out and gave the ball back to Auburn with less than a minute left, which I talked about this on the last episode. But punted the ball back to them. The cat from Auburn muffed it. And Alabama, old Brooks had 2 chances to scoop it. He could have scooped and scored it even if he'd have gotten in control. I don't think.
Can't
I think
advance
he.
it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can't advance it, but he had the room. He was behind everybody,
But
and
also, why? Just falling. Game over. Falling.
Oh,
Game over.
oh, trust me. Why would you try to run it? The game's over. You got 15 seconds left. And so Auburn tried to heave it or whatever. It didn't work. And Notre Dame played Stanford, drummed them. I mean, they're running trick plays and fake punts and all this other stuff. And won 49-20. I think Stanford scored a couple touchdowns late to make it closer. But that's where we'll start. They bumped Alabama up to 9, Notre Dame down to 10. Here's what I think. They moved Alabama up just in case they lose to Georgia. They can keep them in there in the 12. They moved
There we
Notre
go.
Dame down to 10 because if BYU loses, they might just pull off switcheroo and put Miami at 10 and Notre Dame at 9 because then they would be right by each other. Because Reese Davis asked Hunter Yurachek, right? Asked Hunter Yurachek, hey, can these idle teams move? And he basically said, yes, they can. Hunter Yurachek is, of course, the college football playoff commissioner, Arkansas AD. Now, let's get your take on it. What do y'all think about this move? I mean, if you want to look at resumes, it's not close between Alabama and Notre Dame,
Right.
right?
It should.
The only argument that Notre Dame's got is Alabama lost to Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as wins that you have in the year, it's not close.
Mm-hmm.
It is not close. So that part of it makes sense. Dalton, go ahead.
Well, like you said, resume is this. This should have happened the first week when Alabama lost to Oklahoma. They should have been in front of Notre Dame still. Now you bring up the loss to Florida State being at the beginning of the year. How can you penalize Alabama for a one loss in week 1 or week 0, whatever it was, but not penalize Notre Dame for 2 straight losses in their first 2 weeks?
Come on,
Here,
man.
here is
Stop
the
trying to be
issue.
so. Stop trying to do that.
Here's the
Don't
issue.
be logical here.
Yeah, well, that's it's all gone out the window. Here's what's going on. Eye test. That's all they're using.
Then
And it's an issue and it's a problem. They shouldn't, right? They should not. And here's what I don't understand, right? Uh, when you especially the Notre Dame Miami situation, because that's the one everybody's talking about. Miami's won the head to head, but Notre Dame looks better, blah blah blah. So you know how they moved up Miami like every 2 or 3 spots for like 4 weeks straight to get them to where
mm-hmm.
they are right now. Miami jumped, what are they at 12 right now? So they're the second team out technically,
Yep.
if we were to go to playoff right now. Uh, here's what I don't understand. Why can't if you get to a point where, all right, resumes are the same, uh, there's a head-to-head victory, one over the other. Doesn't matter if it's week 0 or week 14. Just move Miami from wherever they are up above Notre Dame. Why can't you do that? Because Miami's resume is probably better than BYU's too. Now it's going to be very close, but I bet it's a little bit better. And the ACC's not good. All right, I know they've lost 2 games, and maybe that's probably wrong. Miami's lost 2 games they shouldn't have lost. BYU lost to Texas Tech, right? But Miami's got the win versus Notre Dame. Why don't you just put them above Notre Dame? Just jump everybody. Why does it have to just be incremental bumps up?
Yep.
Why does it have to be incremental? I mean, and I'm kind of jumping around here. I still don't understand why Texas is jumping Vandy.
Dang, I was
Listen,
about to say that.
listen. I'm sorry, I freaking stole it from you, but
No, you're good.
I'll
You're
let you
good.
I'll let you go next. Yeah, Texas beat Vandy, but Texas has 3 losses and Vandy has 2. That right there should be resume enough to say Vandy does not. Vandy should have moved up. Texas should be right behind them.
Vandy, I get it. Texas just beat the number 3 team in the country, but Vandy beat Tennessee by 20.
On the road.
Yeah,
Yes, and
on the road.
Tennessee was ranked number 19.
Yeah.
How do they not move at all? But Texas jumps 3 spots ahead of them. They're going to do whatever they can to get Texas in this playoffs, and I'm telling
They're
you,
trying. They're trying.
there's a
So
way that they can fall, and
Yeah,
Texas will get in.
trying.
yeah, absolutely.
Griff, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was gonna say is I don't know how Texas at 9-3. Now, I'll grant you the Texas win. What their win over A&M was a great win at home, great win, whatever. I don't know how Vanderbilt goes on the road and beats Tennessee by 21 by 3 touchdowns, and they stay still. They don't move at all, and Texas somehow can jump 3 spots and in front of Vanderbilt, and it goes to show how just completely insane that it is that Miami is still behind Notre Dame. The fact that the committee is putting Texas at 9-3 with a worse record than Vanderbilt over them because of the head-to-head, you can't even put Miami ahead of Notre Dame. And
Well,
here's something with the
here's
Miami Notre Dame thing is they have, I think, no, this is not including the head-to-head. They have 3 common opponents: NC State, Pitt, and Syracuse. Miami beat Pitt and NC State worse than Notre Dame did. Obviously, Notre Dame absolutely shellacked
Slaughtered Syracuse.
Syracuse. But it's like if you're comparing resumes, they've played each other, and a quarter of their schedule is the same teams.
yeah,
And 2 of those 3, Miami beat worse than Notre Dame did. Also, they played head to head.
yeah.
So
Well, the
I
head to
don't I
head
don't understand, and I
should
get
probably be
it.
enough.
I get it. Miami lost to Louisville and to SMU. I mean, are Louisville and SMU just that? Are those just horrible losses?
Well, at the
Uh,
time, Louisville was once they
Yeah,
beat Miami, they were in
right.
the driver's
They
seat
were in the
for the
driver's seat for the
ACC.
Yeah,
And
ACC, and
SMU,
yeah,
if
SMU
they
they
were.
was
if
until they
they'd have
lost to
won,
Cal.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
So it is
Yeah.
just.
The problem is that the committee uses these different variables when they want to,
Hmm.
right? So like Oklahoma, Alabama, they won't dare put Alabama in front of Oklahoma unless they win this SEC championship game.
Yeah.
yep,
They will not go above Oklahoma because of the head to head.
yep.
Hmm.
Okay, and rightfully so. And now all of a sudden, Texas beats Texas A&M. They jump Vandy. Probably they say, well, the head to head they beat them. Okay, well, why does Miami Notre Dame not do it? Why don't you do it? Why
It
don't you
is
move them
so
the same way?
unbelievable.
And like you were saying earlier with Vandy, with Texas and Miami, every blowout win, they're jumping, they're climbing, climbing. Vandy gets a blowout win. Hey, Vandy, screw
Nothing.
you,
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Screw you.
guys,
And,
I'm
and hey,
telling you.
hey, I've heard this. I've heard this, so I'm stealing this. I listen to this stuff literally every day,
All day.
and I've heard this. So I'm stealing it, but I wanted to bring it up to you. Y'all probably heard it too. Imagine, just think about this. Vanderbilt, if you switch their uniforms out with USC or uh, Texas or um, I don't know,
Notre Dame.
I don't know, Michigan, right?
Are you talking about
Notre
right
Dame.
now?
They'd be in
I'm
the
talking
top
about if
10.
I'm talking about with Vanderbilt's resume. If you just
Mhm.
take the V off and take the gold and black off, and you throw on the Longhorn symbol, you think they're getting in the playoff?
No, they're going to be in the top 8 at this
I'll be
point.
danged. They're gonna be in the they're gonna be have a home playoff game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll be in the
So
top 8 for
that's
sure.
to me that's the issue, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
If another team had this resume, they would be in the 12.
Hmm.
They'd be in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
They'd be in
I
there.
So
agree.
great point. So you think about it. If say you switch them to USC, it would be like them. And I'm just comparing the teams. I'm not take rivalry out of it. Whatever. If you say that Vandy, which is now USC, last game of the year, they're 9-2 at what number 14? They go on the road to Michigan, trying to compare Big Ten to
Sure,
SEC here,
sure.
or
How about this?
compare
They
them.
go Yeah, all right, that's right. Michigan. Yeah,
Go to
that's good.
Michigan
Yeah,
and beat Michigan by 3 touchdowns. Do you think that USC stays put?
the boys
No
are in the
No
shot.
playoff.
way.
The
No
boys are in the
way.
playoff, and I don't
Yeah.
get it. All right, that's
Yep.
I'm glad we're on the same page there because it's driving me nuts. The more I listen to these other people say it, I'm just thinking it just makes too much sense. Why would you not
Yeah.
just do it? Now, here is the next thing, okay? And and this is gonna we'll just kind of work calendar into this. Well, no, we're gonna wait on doing that. But the group of five conundrum that we've got going on. And listen, guys, I love the group of five. I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. And listen, I love the group of five. A lot of these big wigs, and I love the big wigs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on them or negative or whatever. When it comes to group of five, those dudes, they're out. They don't care. They don't want to talk group of five. They don't. And that's fine. That's fine. Okay. And that kind of fires me up. But on the other hand, there's probably not any real reason, and I hate I'm even saying this, that a group of five should have a set out spot for the playoff. And the start of the
Hmm.
season, I did not think this way. I did not think
Yeah.
this way. I thought, you know what, it's good they have a spot.
Yep.
As the season goes, I don't think they should have a set out spot. And we talked about this a week or two ago. They have the group of five as a whole, so it's not like every conference. Group of five as a whole has a legitimate spot every year, no matter what. Possibly two. If you are a Power Four conference, you do not have a set out spot for you. If your conference is not good, you do not have a spot. Like the ACC could very well be out of it.
Yep.
Could very well be out of it. And I think that's garbage. That's garbage, right?
Mm-hmm.
If my thought is if you're gonna have AQs for a group of five, have an AQ for every group of five. So you'd have 9 automatic qualifiers.
Yeah.
All right, 9 automatic qualifiers. Yeah. Well, you're gonna have the Pac-12 next year. So let's say you have 10 automatic qualifiers,
Hmm.
right? And then you get 6 at larges to make a 16-team playoff. No buys, and we're gonna get into the calendar because I'm fired up on that too. 6 at-large teams, right? You get what 7 now in the 12-team playoff. All right. You go 10 AQs, and then you go 6 at large. Now, or you just split them up completely. Have a group of five and a P5, P4. It'd be group of six next year and P4 playoffs.
Yeah.
Because honestly, guys, Cincinnati, great for them, dude. They freaking worked their way in
Yeah.
the 14 playoff and played the Tide and got blistered. Okay. Boise State gets in the playoff last year and they played Penn State, ran into a buzzsaw, got blistered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love the group of five just as much, probably more than the next guy, actually, because we're going to talk about every group of five game. But by gosh, they probably don't need to be in the CFP.
Needs to be an NIT as the
Well,
G5.
And I don't disagree. We'll get into the calendar because I got that kind of goes into the calendar talk.
I think that I wish they would do a group of five playoff separately. However, I think that so say you have team like I think I also think that the 12 team playoff needs to just be the top 12 teams. Let's start with this all these conference champions because that's going to take care of itself anyways. Because we're sitting here talking about the top five conference champions get in. Um, do you think the winner of the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12 are not going to get in? If Duke wins it, they wouldn't have been a top 12 seed anyways. If Virginia does, they're probably going to. Well, they should be a top 12 seed. But I just think that we need to go to a straight 12, just the top 12. And if you're in the top 12, you're in. 1 through 4
I
get buys. 5 through 12, first round.
I see what you're saying. I see
And
what you're
then
saying.
and then I'm thinking like for if you do a group of 5 playoff, I feel like there should be some sort of way that like say a team goes and they win the group of 5 playoff one year and then they're up in the top 25, like if they end up working themselves into the top 12, if they have some big wins on the schedule in one year, maybe throw them in the P4 one. See if we can get them up in there. I don't know. I don't like the G4, I mean the G5 automatic qualifier that much anymore. But now if you have a team that's good enough to compete and they show that throughout the season by scheduling, games against high level Power Four teams and are competing slash winning those games, why not let them run with the dogs for a little bit? I don't know. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of better ways than having these absolute imbeciles up there that they're just so contradictory. They don't know how in the world um, to to rank all these teams.
Bless you. Yeah, I mean, I think I like what you're saying, Griff. I think if you're gonna have automatic qualifiers, why don't you put a ranking like limit on it? Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna be an automatic qualifier, you got to be ranked in the top 20,
Hmm.
for example. So you may not be in the top 12, but if you're a group of 5, if you're like right now, if you're Tulane and you're ranked number 20 and you win, hey, you're in the playoff.
Yeah.
If you're in the group of 5 and the highest group of 5 is like not ranked, well, sorry, you're not getting in, you know.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, and it's also like people are talking about, you know, um, if Duke wins and
Yeah.
the winner of the American is in, I think. Winner of the American's in. If Duke wins, then and James Madison loses, then Duke's got to be in because they should be the highest ranked, other than like the Mountain West and Conference USA. Duke should be higher up. And I'm like, screw that. Just put in
Yeah.
who would be a better game, you think? Let's see. As it sits right now, Oregon and Miami or Texas or Vanderbilt or Oregon and Duke. What do you think would be a better game? And that's
I
that's
know.
that's been that's
I
been the
know.
thing that people talked about is like this team should be in because it would be a better game, and I've always been against that. But when you talk about automatic qualifiers, we shouldn't just let teams get in that shouldn't be in. Like Duke, you lost to UConn, you lost to Tulane. I'm sorry. Great job winning the conference. You out. Sorry.
You out.
Yeah.
You out, dog. D, what you got, man? We kind of cut you off one time.
Mm, I did have something to say. Do y'all think if it was a 2014 playoff, there would be an automatic G5 qualifier?
I bet they might do multiple
Yeah,
You think?
probably.
if it's 24. That's what I say. If you do 24, do an automatic
You
qualifier for every conference. So you've got 10 automatic qualifiers and 14 at larges.
Yes.
Hey, if you're not in the 24, you should not be. That means you got to, if you're not ranked, you should not get in
Yeah.
because it's 24 to 25 top teams in the country. Your butt's in there. And if you're not ranked, hey, you're not freaking playing in it.
Hmm.
That makes it
yeah.
easy to me.
Yeah, the the
Yeah.
G5 getting normally the 12 seed, and I guess possibly this year could be 11 and 12. You give the number 5 seed such a significant advantage to every other team
The one
because
seed, the one seed doesn't have an
no,
advantage.
no.
Mm-mm.
First off, we need to get in the top 4 seed. They should have their first games. They should be playing them at home. Another deal there.
Yeah,
But
Oh yeah.
the 5 seed has a significant advantage because they're not taking a bye week, and if you watch most sports, when a team plays, consistently plays every chance they get, and then you have a team come off a bye into the postseason, it's tough to get the wheels turning earlier because you've had such a long break. Look at the MLB; it's like every team that takes a bye, usually in the first round, they struggle early on. Luckily, they
yes,
have 18 games to
Hmm.
play, so they can figure it out. But
yeah,
um, but 5, you play a home game against a way lesser opponent, and you're going to drag them most likely.
Well,
and it's like a good challenging scrimmage.
listen to this. Last year in the 12-team playoff, of the four buys, guess how many of those teams won in their game?
Zero.
0.
Not a one. All
Not
four
one
of them
team.
lost. And you may have just said that, but
I did not. I did not know.
not
I
a
guess I
single
knew
one
it,
of
but
them
I
won.
forgot about that. Yeah.
So that it's that. I mean, it just goes to your point that, and like you were saying Sunday, Jake, the time between these games is
Oh,
is stupid.
crazy.
Well,
That's
here, and you know what? Let's get into the calendar because we're getting to the calendar now and we'll
hmm
just jump right in. If you're going to do this playoff, if you're going to have a bye, and you want it to actually um, benefit the teams with the bye, the playoffs got to start conference championship week
hmm
because then you're getting 1 week off. Like a normal teams get two bye weeks in this season. They got two bye weeks, and it might just be that way forever. I don't know.
Yep.
It's like a bye week. It's not like a bye month. Think
yeah.
about this. The first round of the playoffs is December 19th. What day do you play the last game of regular season? November 28th, 29th, whatever it is. So you are sitting out for a month until you play as a 1, 2, 3, 4 seed in the
hmm
playoff. That's
Well,
just like
unless you're
that's like a
playing in the
bowl
conference
game.
championship.
Well, but
Okay, if you play in the conference championship, it's 3 weeks.
That would be Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Miami, Texas, Vandy, and say Utah in the top 15. All right.
hmm
If any of them get in the playoffs, their next game is not going to be for a month
3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
almost a month.
almost.
Yeah, 100%. And it's crazy,
And,
right?
and, and say
But then
and
the
say
winners of
Texas
the
Tech loses in the conference championship, and Oregon hops up to number 4. They won't play till the end of December. They will literally go an
because
entire
Oh yeah,
month
yeah,
they'll go from the
before they play
29th to
again.
the 20 whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right,
January
D.
1st.
Exactly. All right. So, all right, hear me out. Okay, we're calendar talk. This is a 2026 college, 26, 27 college football season, and you may not even need 27. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. You play the season that you play. First of all, you got to fix how big the conferences are. The tiebreakers are idiotic. And people are saying it. There's no reason Miami shouldn't be in the ACC championship game. With all the teams with two losses and Miami's not in it, they're 10-2. It's a problem. It's an issue. That's what happens when you have 18 teams in the conference. You have 18 in that conference.
hmm
Okay? It's stupid. Now, you actually you split basically the ACC. Hell, split the SEC in half. Split the Big Ten and the Big 12 in half because they got about 18 in each, and both of theirs too.
Mm-hmm.
Split them in half. Now you can actually play everybody in your conference.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then you can have non-conference games and make it where take away the FCS games. Gosh, I know it's a moneymaker for FCS teams. Do something else because it helps nobody. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't even help the
hmm
FCS team playing wise. Money wise, yeah, it helps them, but playing wise, it doesn't help them. All right,
Yeah.
take those games away. I would even say, guys, take group of five teams away with P4 teams. Make group of
Mm,
five teams play group of five teams in a non-conference.
That don't
P4 play P4.
that only works if you're trying to do a group of 5 playoff,
right.
I think.
Okay?
Because then
Because,
if you have the G5 qualifier,
Yeah.
automatic qualifier, then it's like, yeah,
Which
every
one
G5
do you put
team,
in?
right, right.
So, but anyways, go
But
ahead, Jake. Sorry.
I like the idea of
Yeah,
I
I do
hear
too. I'm
you.
loving it.
do a G5 playoff and
Listen,
that.
all right, if you do it all together, say it's the bigger playoff, 16 or 20 or 24, one G5 game.
hmm
You get one G5 game.
Okay.
The other two have got to be P4 teams.
hmm
Okay? Got to be P4. Now, if you split the SEC in half, it's just 8-8. So you only got 7 games you can play, so you got to figure that out. But anyway, we'll tweak the numbers some. All right, so now you've
Ooh.
played everybody in the conference. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say we need to do an episode in the off season of conference realignment breaking these conferences up?
Oh,
Because
Write it down. Write it
I
down.
was thinking like you have the SEC, but put Tulane in one of these pieces, maybe Memphis in another. So, anyways, because then that's how
I've
you could
I've
get to
done a
like
couple.
maybe
I've done a
you get you
couple conference realignments on NCAA, so we can pull
yeah.
from
If
those.
if you can get each conference to 10 teams, you can play every team in your conference plus three out of conference games.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now, okay. Say we do some version of that. You can keep the 12 games in your conference. You play everybody,
Hmm.
right? Basically what FCS does.
Yeah.
FCS got like they got one conference who can't play everybody by a lot, but then that's the CAA, the Big Sky, like they miss one team on the in the conference. Anyway, so you play basically everybody. No tiebreakers. You got head to head. All right, the
Hmm.
tiebreaker garbage is really pissing me off because you don't know who is gonna freaking play. Now,
Yeah.
you get to the end of the season, and if we want the playoff expanded, let's expand it. But guess what we got to do? As much as I hate it, you got to take conference championships away. The games, you got to take the games away. What you got to do is by the end of the season, if you have the smaller conferences, guess what? You know who the champion is, who's got
Yeah.
the best record, and who's beating who. It's that simple. And then the week right after the regular season's over, guess what happens? Playoffs. Guess who else does that? High school, D3, D2, NAIA, FCS, NFL does it. Your freaking NFL does it, right? I know they only have 32 teams, but still, they don't take 5 weeks off and say, let's rest everybody up. Let's just start right after. Okay, you start right after. You start the first week of December. Yeah, you're playing games through December, whatever. All right, you probably play through December, and guess what? The national championship can then be around New Year's again. And then you don't have the early signing day, right? I mean, maybe you can, but it's not as big of a deal because now the season ends on January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever you want it to be. You have the signing day in February, all right? And this is something I heard from Hugh Freeze here in a second on his podcast with Pollock,
hmm
See Ball, Get Ball.
Yep.
The season ends around January 1st, all right? Now coaches don't have to say, I'm going to leave before the playoff starts. It's not even an option. Why would
Hmm.
Yep.
you even do it? Because it doesn't matter.
hmm
Right.
Then you get to the end of the season, you can, if there's a job open, yeah, you go take it, whatever. And then here's how you fix the mid-year transfer thing where they got to get there before January. And this Hugh Freeze said this, man. I listened to the podcast with him with David Pollock. He had some good stuff to say in there.
Yeah.
You have a option of a semester that starts middle February, late February, and you can finish the courses to get you to stay eligible and get your education to help stay on track to finish where you can move. So say, I mean, if you're in the portal, right, and this might could be tough, you're just not in school for January and February because you're trying to get recruited, whatever, right? And now the transfer portal is another deal. It doesn't need to be so easy to get in and out of it, but that's a whole nother deal. That's just
Hmm.
off the freaking wire, off the rails. So now those kids can come in. They sign on February 5th, let's say. The Saints first Wednesday in dadgum February. They come in on February 14th. They start school on the 15th of February. It's a month and a half, or basically just a month, because colleges start in the middle of January now for school. It seems like you miss 1 month and you get the rest of the semester to get those credits you need to stay eligible and stay on track in your degree.
Hmm.
And then you've got it all figured out. There's no wondering, well, who's going to get in the portal now? Who's going to get in the portal then? Who do I have to get now? You know, because there's no freaking guessing, and there's no jumping in and out of the portal. Coaches aren't leaving in the middle of the playoffs or before the playoffs when you have a chance to win a natty or possibly a conference championship game because there's no need to. There's no need to. The season
Yeah.
ends in January, and there's no crazy signing period because now we have a semester that can take it from February on through May, and maybe you take it a little longer in May. Maybe you do that to make sure you get it covered if you need to. But you shouldn't have to. They can probably condense it down and make it work
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the education portion, and y'all know me, dude. I did not like school when I was in it, but by gosh, I've got 2 degrees. All right, and it's important whether I want to think it or not. The education portion has gone completely out the window. It's
Yeah.
gone. So you got to put a little more importance on that because if
Hmm.
you don't have that, some of these kids may get some NIL money in college, and then they don't get any degree because they've gone to 5 schools and no credits went over or whatever, and then they're out of school and they're not a stud and going to the NFL and they're SOL boys.
Yeah, that's what I was about
I
to
know
say
it's got to. I
is
know it's got to happen. And they go to these spring leagues or the Canadian League. Guess what? Canadian League is half a year. You get paid for half a year. You come back and you work and then go
hmm
back. These spring leagues, same thing. It's not even half a year. It's probably 3 or 4 months. And you're doing a spring league and then you're working normally. So
yeah.
you've got to get some kind of degree, right? I mean, and nowadays, if you, as long as you have a degree of some kind, you're probably okay. But you got to freaking get it, and we got
Hmm.
to help the kids freaking get it. The transfer portal is what it is, but if if you're going to get in there, fine. Do it the right way, and we'll help you if you get here. After on February 15th, we'll get you. Same thing with high school cats. They're rolling early. Some of them may have to. Hugh Freeze mentioned this about their playoffs. They go into December. If they want to early enroll? They may have to miss a playoff game or state or whatever if it's late enough, and they want them in
Yeah.
school early enough. I don't know. I've never seen that happen, but Hugh Freeze mentioned it, so it had to happen somewhere, right? So it just makes it easier, and then they can still enroll early, just in February after they sign. Get your diploma, whatever, early. Get to school in February. You get to do spring ball and everything. You still get to do all of it,
Hmm.
right? There's my 2 cents that turned into about $1.
Yeah. Um, I have pretty much the same things written down. Week one, there's no more week zero. Week one, so these are 2026 dates. Week one starts August 22nd. 14 weeks, which is 12 games, two buys. You end on November the 21st, I think,
So the week before Thanksgiving.
the week before Thanksgiving. Yeah,
FCS,
November
dude. I like it.
21st. No, November 21st. That's when your rivalry week would be, is November 21st.
Hmm.
Now, something that I heard interesting that John Gruden brought up, I heard a video of him talking the other day, is so I would advocate for moving to a 16 team playoff. Uh, Conference championship weekend, you have the four Power Four conferences that have obviously two teams playing in the conference championship. You would take the other, I guess, what would that be? That'd be 8 teams. You would take several of the other teams that are battling for playoff spots. So like this discussion with Vanderbilt and Utah and Texas and Miami and BYU, or not BYU, Notre Dame conference championship weekend. Let's put those teams together and make them play for a play-in game for the
Play
for the
playing games. Yeah,
for the
that's
playoff.
great.
And then we go to
That's great.
16 teams, and we have no buys, nobody's buying, and we go straight into after November the 28th, which would be conference championship slash play-in weekend. What is this? You go December 5th as a first round, 12th is the quarterfinals, 19th is the semis, and the December 26th. Put the game on a Saturday. December 26th is a natty. Then you've got the
Merry
portal
Christmas
Christmas.
windows.
celebration.
Merry
Hey,
Christmas.
and if you want to put it on a
Yeah,
Monday,
yeah.
it's on 28th. Whatever. I
Fine,
don't like it,
fine.
but
Yeah.
whatever.
Hey, nobody's working out of school for Christmas anyway. Everybody can watch
Right.
it then. It makes
True.
Exactly.
perfect sense.
True.
The transfer portal window stays the same this coming up year for it to be. I did it so that it would be exactly. It would be the same Friday through a. Let's see. No, sorry. I did. This is a Monday, January the 4th through Friday, January the 15th. You get 2 full weeks 2 full work weeks, I guess, of transfer portal window. Signing day is 2 weeks after that, or I guess 2.5 week or 1.5 weeks. January 27th on a Wednesday through the 29th to Friday, and then you have, like you were saying, Jake, with the February March like mini mester things for early enrollees. You can still sign at the end of January, and you have about a month to get your affairs straight so that you can start your mini mester for the last half of the semester and get your credits. And that
Mm-hmm.
is that is the
Mm-hmm.
new calendar that I think that we should have.
I think the playing games are smart.
Yeah.
I do too. And now, obviously, it sounds good to say that would take away all the argument between all these other teams. Yeah, it would take all the argument away from all these other teams this year, but then next year there's going to be argument about the teams that are not in the play-in games. But at least that makes
Well,
it
yeah.
where the conference championship teams and the other teams that they're playing, like nobody's getting buys. We're not going to have any of this BS where teams are resting while others are not.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. It's a lot on the players. I understand that, but this is a
But
multi-billion-dollar business, guys. These guys are getting paid a lot of money.
right,
So
but is it that
buck up.
hard on them? Think about high school teams, right?
Hmm.
They play 10 regular season games usually, and then like I know in North Carolina, for example, if you don't get the first round bye, buddy, you're playing like 5 or 6 playoff games. You're playing 15, 16 games
Yeah.
almost in a row. So
Hmm.
I don't really want to hear like it's tough on them. I mean, yeah, it's not easy. Football's not freaking easy, right? Look at the NFL. They play 17 games. How many buys do they get? One.
Hmm.
You freaking one bye week, dude. Now they're professionals, I understand. But these kids in college are professionals now. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
You get one bye in NFL, and guess what? Only 1 or 2 teams get a bye in the playoffs there. It used to be, well, I think it used to be more. Now it's less. They made it less now. I think it's just the top team gets the bye,
Yeah. I
if I'm
think
not
you're right.
mistaken.
Hmm.
So what are we talking about? It's tough, right? It's football, dude. It's
Hmm.
supposed to be, or it is, or maybe not supposed to be. It is. Okay, we can't just keep elongating the season just because we want to have a good matchup on TV because let's get everybody healthy. We want good matchups on TV. You're going to get one anyway.
Yeah.
College
And
football
I,
to me is going to
and
be good
and I
anyway.
get it. I get it about people wanting their teams to be healthy, but there's a lot that goes into the health of a roster. It literally the health of a roster is not all about, oh, this guy got hurt on Saturday. This is about preparation during the week, during the off season, your weight training during the week, during the off season, all this kind of stuff, your nutrition, all this stuff goes into the health of your roster throughout the season. It is not, and sometimes it is just a freak accident on a Saturday that happens, but some of this stuff is not. So let's see which programs can keep this going the entire season. Let's see who the best team in the country is. Let's see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
But
So
D, you can go ahead. I feel like I've taken a lot of time on this. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Well, I don't have a calendar printed out, but I think you should submit that to the NCAA. Be great.
I already did. I did it earlier.
Oh, nice.
okay,
Good,
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 good.
good.
Was it just
I want
ncaa at gmail.com?
at Hotmail.
Hotmail.
Oh, Hotmail. Okay, sorry. So sorry. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, D.
Um, so y'all hit on all the calendar for season as far as games, playoffs, per transfer portal, recruit or high school signing day, and I agree with all of it. There's such a better way to do it. Why it can't be done when every other league does it is beyond me. Why
Mm-hmm.
is FBS so special that they can do the dumb AS? They can do that with no pushback. Well, there's pushback. They don't care.
well,
Anyway,
yeah.
so I want to talk about when the playoff rankings begin. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
on Crane and Company, one good sports podcast out there. Go listen to it as soon as you're done listening to Pad Level, obviously.
Of course. Right.
But one of the hosts, David Cohn, talks about the Miami Notre Dame debacle, and Miami just got basically they got screwed by the timing of when the first playoff ranking came out. Had it come
Mm-hmm.
out at the beginning of the season, Miami would still be above Notre Dame because
Hmm.
Miami was winning, winning, winning. They'd been way up there, and then Notre Dame would have been back with the 2 losses trying to climb. Notre Dame, or Miami loses 1 and 2. They're still ahead of Notre Dame because they won the game earlier in the year. You do it later in the year when Miami's starting to win, start back on track winning games. They'll be
Hmm.
ahead of Notre Dame because they had the head to head. But because it started in the 3 game span that Miami lost 2 games, here Miami is trying to fight their way back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
that's
point.
another thing. The playoff ranking is a TV show that tries to generate money. If it were legitimately about playoff rankings, as the FCS does, as D2 does, as D3 does, you have one selection show, and that is the Sunday after the conference championships. That's
Yeah.
it. There's no 6 weeks of playoff rankings.
Yeah,
What if,
I
all
agree.
right, I don't disagree. What if somebody said, D, well, why don't we just start it in week 1 and just do it all year? So then, why don't we just start at week 1?
All right, let's do it. If we
I
want to
and
do it, start mid-season, stupid. Just for
I
this reason
agree.
right here.
I
Do
agree.
it week 1 or do it week 14
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
I agree. Either do it the
week
entire
15,
season or
whatever.
do it at the very end. And
Yes.
another thing that I wish they wouldn't do, and I know they have to, or I don't really have to, but they want to do it because it makes the conversation. We get so anxious for the football season. I'm tired of the preseason polls. People get
Yes.
too hooked to their preseason polls. It is like they want to be they want to, even more so than during the season, they want to pick the 1 through 25 how it's going to be at the end of the season. They want to pick that at the beginning of the season, and they are so hell bent on keeping it as close as they can as possible to what they're trying to what they started out as, that they just get blinded. And the AP affects the college football playoff ranking, and you can't tell me it doesn't.
Yeah.
Especially that first one. What the AP it
Yeah.
does leading up, it definitely has an effect on what the college football playoff does. So I agree, D. College football playoff. I feel like if you're going to do the AP the whole season, you do the college football one the whole season, so that you don't
Yep.
let the AP voters affect the playoff ranking. Um, but I think just stop with the preseason. Everybody is unranked. Nobody's ranked. I won't care. If you beat Ohio State the first week of the season, when they're 12-0 at the end of the season, we're gonna know that was a pretty good loss.
Yeah.
Texas,
Yeah.
or if you're Notre Dame and you lose to Miami the first game of the season, when Miami's sitting there at 10-2, ranked number 10 in the country, or what at number 12, we're gonna know that was a good loss. So
Yeah.
it's all gonna work itself out. But I just think that they should
What
start
are
their rankings at week
what
one.
are y'all's thoughts on this? And just general question. I'm not endorsing or saying nay to it. Just want to know y'all's thoughts. What do you think about taking the committee out of it and going to computer objective rankings for the playoffs? One time at the end of the year.
I
Code the criteria in there,
hmm
and then you have every team their strength of schedule, strength of record, and you have their win loss record, and then you have head to head in there as well,
hmm
and then you say computer or AI do your job, and
Well,
then we see that.
the issue with that is that the computers don't have eyes to watch the teams and add the eye test factor in there, so you can't do that, you know.
You
Yeah,
rascal,
No,
D. You
I think that's a
rascal.
great idea. At least to give the committee, and I know you just said take the committee out of it, put the computers in, but I feel like they should at least use computers for themselves. I don't understand. I think it is so crazy that the that every conference can look at 3 weeks out and can say if this happens, this happens, this happens, this team's in because of the tiebreakers, because of the criteria set
yep,
forth by the conferences. 3 weeks out, we know that if these three things happen, Duke is in the ACC championship.
hmm
2 weeks out, we know that this team needs to lose. But when the college football playoff comes around, it is strictly subjective, baby. We
you're
have
just
these
throwing
five
cards up and
qualifiers, and the
shooting.
other seven are what we want to do, and we gonna do it. It don't
Yeah.
matter what the criteria is. All that matters is what we see on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't think it's a bad idea at all because at least then, whether you have a committee with the computer or not, at least you've got something keeping people accountable for the criteria that you went on the
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
first
Yes, that's a
show and
good point.
said, this is what we're going
Yes.
to look at. Because,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
buddy, they ain't looking at that. They
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
are not. They're not. They're looking at what do those logos look like
Yep.
and how do they look on the field. Oh,
There ain't no freaking doubt.
that
Or,
nice gold helmet and that blue jersey looks pretty good. Or
yep.
Mm-hmm.
that white helmet, that burnt orange Longhorn, man, that looks pretty nice. Or, or, uh, whoever else. I was just going to try to name somebody else, but you get what I'm saying.
Uh,
Or,
that crimson helmet with that white numbering on the side, man, we got to get those boys in there.
Who are you talking about?
Oh,
have to.
Oklahoma
Okay, yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
or Indiana, sorry.
Or let's do this. Let's get 12 cavemen. Let's put every team, and don't even put their name on there. It's going to be Team A through Team Triple Z. All right? And then you put their win loss record, strength of schedule, strength of record, and let them figure it out. I
You
would have
know,
more faith in that than I do in the committee right now.
well, at least you have some definitive answers on why things are happening.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know,
these people have that information and they still don't care.
don't care.
They
I've heard
still don't care.
Desmond Howard's mentioned that on game day before, where you have a nameless, faceless team, and you just put their all right, strength of schedule, strength of record, blah blah blah, whatever it is criteria is are, and you just put them in a list, and you rank them from the top to the bottom, and that's how they freaking go. I mean, why wouldn't we just try that one time? Just try it,
Well,
all
I
right?
because
don't know.
they're gonna know who the teams are. But that's why the computer thing would be so great. Use that as a tool to start you off.
Or the
At
caveman thing, they
least
don't know who it is.
with
They
the
don't
computer,
have
don't put a
a
name in
clue.
there. There's not even a play. They don't not even a column to put the name in. It is
Uh-uh.
strictly just record, what your strength of record is, or I guess who the strength of the teams that you've played. I don't know. You'd have to. There's definitely enough technology you can figure something out. And I
Yeah.
think that if you have a committee and they use that as a tool, they need to have their rankings that they make up, and they need to show the computerized rankings next to it, and let's compare and let's see, because that'll take away all the bias, baby. Because they ain't going to be caught like that. I can promise
That's
you.
in no doubt about that. We are
They're gonna
out
have
here
it pretty much the same, maybe one or so flipped.
we are out here catching rockets landing from space, and we still have a committee saying we're going off eye test.
Yeah. Yeah.
Classic,
I mean,
classic humans.
and there's not a whole lot of um we don't really know a whole lot about how those like how they get to it. Then he doesn't really we have no clue,
No.
which is just
Six,
crazy.
7.
Oh man, I wanted to just
God,
I almost turned it off. Almost just
It was so
turned the
bad to
TV off
watch.
when I
I didn't
saw
even
that,
So
see it,
man.
bad.
and
It
I'm
was
glad
just
because I'd had to buy another TV.
yeah,
I think
don't
after
worry
that
about
comment, we should just have all the top 24 teams. They should just secede from college football for this season and just play each other, and then they'll have their own national championship and just don't let the committee pick anymore.
Mm-mm.
After Hunter Yurachek
it.
did
Yeah,
that,
man,
he
this
can't
dang
even. I heard a
committee.
good comment. He can't even lead Arkansas, and then
Yeah,
they're trying to let him lead the playoff committee. That's crap.
yeah,
Is what it
man,
is.
yeah, for sure. And that's another thing. Athletic directors in there, they got other stuff to worry about. I mean,
Yeah.
why are athletic
Well,
directors the one doing this? Is what I want to know.
that's the issue.
I don't
That is
care.
a
I don't
huge
care if they
issue.
played or coached before or not. Athletic directors got other stuff going on. This is not their top priority. And then
And
they're gonna
another,
have bias in one way or the other.
absolutely, absolutely, they will.
Yep.
They're gonna have bias. Okay. All right, boys. I think that was a pretty freaking solid. Uh, I mean,
I
we talked
agree.
about that
I
for
could
about 45 minutes.
I could talk about that for 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Now, before we get, oh, one thing I was gonna add. I heard somebody somewhere talk about putting bowl games as the first game of the season the next year
How are
instead
they going to
of,
do that?
I don't
You
know.
just have that first week open. I mean, they could work the
Yeah, the
logistics
first
out.
week's
No,
open.
no, no. I'm saying, how do you know who's going to play each other?
Well, you still do the
Well,
selection stuff and
they pick the
everything
bowl
at the end of the year,
selections.
but then the bowls that you get picked with, you play those teams. That means if you don't pick a bowl game, you got to go schedule a game with somebody who doesn't play a bowl game, for week one.
I I
Now,
get that
obviously that's
idea.
outside of the playoff, right? I mean, the
Right.
playoff is the playoff, but then, do you do it in front of season? I don't know one way or the other. I just heard it. I thought it was interesting.
I've heard that some, and I think the sentiment is good. I think it's a great idea. That I just think that there are, we see a lot of the opt outs and stuff like that. I think there are a lot of people, like a lot of seniors, that still play in these games. I think it'd be a tragedy to take that away from them and say, hey, appreciate you getting us to this New Year's Bowl, whatever.
Gasparilla Bad Boy Mowers Bowl.
Or like, I mean, one of these bowl games, it's like you're a 9-3 team. You didn't quite make the playoff, but you
Mm.
graduate this year, whatever. We're gonna play in the dome. We're gonna get all the swag and stuff.
Ooh.
But sorry, next year you're not gonna be able to do that because you're gonna be working a 9 to 5 or whatever you're gonna be doing. So sorry,
Is that
buddy.
your ninth year?
Invite the seniors there, and they get all the stuff, but don't have to play in the game.
But see, what if they want to play in the
VIP
game?
pass on the sideline as coaches. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
That
how
would
about
be
this?
okay.
How about this? All right. Oh my gosh, I just thought about this. So
Oh
you
man.
take the bowl games, and the teams that win, you schedule the winners against each other in the first game of the season. You kind of have like a bowl type playoff type deal. So you still get to play in the
Mm.
bowl game, but like this 9-3 and 8-4 team play, 8-4 team wins. So you kind of rank these bowl matchups, and so like the number one bowl matchup and the number two, or like I guess you could have it on each side. The two number one bowl matchups on each side, the winner of that plays each other, and then the loser of that plays each other to start the next season.
Yeah.
That'd be
That would
pretty
If
be
that
cool.
makes
pretty good.
sense.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, I mean something like that would be great. And it sucks that these teams have games scheduled like 10 years out. And
Yeah.
that's why the NFL schedules all their games yearly. It's on a yearly basis.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure, depending on where the certain team lands in their division rankings, that's who they play out of their division. Those same ranked teams of that season, the next year in their non-division games. I'm pretty sure it's something like that,
Oh wow. Yeah.
where they play those teams, and obviously it's not all of them, but you play those ranked teams. I think I've heard that it's something along those lines. They just they schedule it 1 year at a time. Now it's
It
only
it probably
32
it probably
teams,
is
so
all of them because that'd be
yeah,
7 games, and then you'd play what,
you play
6
your
in your
division
division.
twice. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
so that'd be
almost
13. So
all of
yeah,
them.
you probably do. That's
So
cool.
it's
I
something
didn't know
like
that.
that they do it.
Yeah, and you say they only have 32 teams, but in college football, with the conferences we have, you have 18 teams, and you
Yeah,
have to play non-conference games. That only gives you 3 other games that you really have to go out and try to match up with. From
yeah,
and then you know what? In the Power Four, there's only 3 other conferences. You can go the Big
Ma-
Ten, Big 12, and ACC. If you're in the ACC, the
makes it
same
easy.
matchup there
Makes it easy,
from the
son.
year before.
The Conference Cup. We
Conference
talked
Cup,
about
baby.
this already, guys.
Conference Cup. Hey,
Mm.
hey, get in touch with Josh Pate. Joe McGuire at Texas Tech just shouted him out, said he needs to be the commissioner. We can call Josh and say, hey, dude, this is what we need to do. Conference Cup. We'll get rid of all these. Everybody talk about the bogus stranger schedule, all this. We have got a freaking idea for you, buddy. And then we
I
just
think
pitch it.
we I think we either need to do the Conference Cup or the bowl playoff. which
Either
was one
one would,
whole
either
playoff.
one works better than what the crap's going on right now for the most part.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Give the
So
people what they want. If this is a TV show, let's make it a damn TV show.
hey, I'm with
I,
you, son. I'm
I
with you,
agree.
boy. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Now we're gonna jump into the coaching carousel real quick. Okay, we're gonna
Oh
jump in.
God.
We're gonna get some updates. I got a list here in front of me. We're gonna go right down the line. I've got a list of every coaching change in every division, including the NFL. All right, and we're not worried about the NFL really, right? We're more college boys. So, okay, now let me see. There have been 22 FBS head coaching changes to date so far. 22.
22
14 have been
today or
filled
22 so far up to today?
this season. Yeah, up to today.
Okay.
Last year there were 27 coaching changes. All right.
Oh
Really?
wow.
I thought this
2023
was
there were
way more.
32. 32
Now
coaching changes.
these have to be mostly coordinators the 2 previous years. Do you know what? Do you know the number on like head coaches versus OCs or DCs?
Like, are you talking about getting hired or getting fired?
When you say coaching changes, are you talking about people getting hired?
These are
Or are you
head
talking
coaching
about?
changes.
Oh,
These are just head coaching changes. So there were last year, there have been 22 FBS teams who have having a head coaching change this year. 14 of them have been filled so far by somebody. Last year, there were 27 head coaching changes. All right. The
whoa.
year before, there were 32 head coaching changes.
I feel
And
like
that was
this
the
year's been the
highest mark.
most I remember.
That was the highest mark since 2008. Okay.
So this year
Wow.
must be just a lot of power
Must just be a lot
four
of higher
schools.
profile jobs.
Cal just hired
Um,
Oregon's DC,
Yep.
so Oregon's lost their DC and their OC.
wait, yes, yes. All right. Now, Arkansas, obviously, they got rid of Sam Pittman during the season. They have hired Ryan Silverfield from Memphis.
And hired Alex Golish. D, what do you think about that hire? Just as an Auburn fan, just quick
I
thought.
give it well. At first, I gave it like a grade of probably a B minus slash C plus. The more I've listened to him talk, the more interviews I've seen him do. After the recruiting day he had yesterday, given the 4 or 3 days, really, well, gosh, really 2 days that he had to try to get out on the recruiting trail. I mean, I'd give it a, oh my gosh, I'd
I'll
give it a
tell you,
B plus,
yeah,
B
I'd say
plus,
at the highest A
maybe an A
minus, but
minus. Yeah.
yeah. All right, so now we got Oregon State fired Trent Bray. They have hired what's Jamarcus Shepard, who's a co-OC at the University of Alabama. Penn State fired James Franklin. They are still searching somehow, some way.
And just for the record, listeners, we looked up Penn State's recruiting ranking before the show, and they're currently behind under 165 right now.
Okay. All right. Cal fired Justin Wilcox. They have just hired Tosh Lapoy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a DC at Oregon, right?
Yep.
So Oregon's going to the playoff, no coordinators.
No, they're coaching in the playoffs.
Are they going to coach through and then go?
Both of them
Okay.
are, yep.
Sorry, all coordinators. I apologize. Coastal Carolina fires Tim Beck. You know what? I've got a little bit of an intel there at Coastal. I won't say who it is. I've talked to him, and he's got no info on the new head coach, so that means
Oh,
nothing.
dang, I thought you were about to break
I
some
wish,
news here on
you
pad
know,
level.
I
Went
wish
with
I
the
could have.
intel and then gave us nothing.
I wish I could have dropped the bomb, but I got no bomb to
The
drop.
Could have
bombshell.
been an
Coastal
ESPN.
Carolina has
Could have been an
update.
ESPN update per pad level. Coastal Carolina is
Pete
hiring.
Thamel says per pad level, per Jake McKenzie, Coastal Carolina is sitting to hire blank.
Oh
Nice.
Okay.
man.
Hey,
Nice.
listen, I will stay on that, and maybe I'll get to leak that. That may be our claim to fame is leaking Coastal
There you go.
Carolina's new head
That would be
coach.
huge.
Anyway, all right.
Uh,
Colorado State fires Jay Norvell, one of the two Norvells who people thought should have gotten fired this year, and they hired Jim Mora, who from UConn, who's Griff. What was his quarterback's name at UConn?
Joe Fagnano.
Griff said it, not me. All right, Florida
What?
fires fires Billy Napier middle of the season. They hired John Sumrall. They wanted old Lane dog. Lane did not want them. James Madison, Bob Chesney left to go to UCLA. Guess who they hired?
Bill Nape.
Billy Napier.
Sun Belt.
Wow.
Billy as in me or
Wow.
Billy as in him?
Yeah.
Uh,
Bones are their money. That's all I'll say.
I thought your name's Billy too.
Kansas State. So Chris Kleiman retires. Was it NDSU for a while, North Dakota State for a while, goes to Kansas State. He is now retired. Colin Klein, not the underwear. This is Colin Klein, not Calvin Klein. The OC at Kansas State has now been upgraded to the head coach. I think that's probably a pretty good deal there.
Yep.
Kent State, they fired Kenny Burns before the season, and their interim, Mark Carney, they just kept him as the head coach. And he's been interim all year, so they just promoted him during the season. Kent State had won a few games this year. They were a little bit better.
Yeah.
Kentucky fires Mark Stoops after several years. I think it's 8 or 10 or something.
13.
And,
Yeah.
13. 13 years. And then swiftly hire Will Stein. That would be Oregon's offensive coordinator, who will not be there till after their playoff run is over. I've heard here recently.
Let me
First
say
LSU.
something on that one. It is unbelievable to me that Penn State fired their coach so early and they still haven't found one. Kentucky fired Stoops on December 1st and turned around and hired Will Stein on December 2nd. So good for them.
Yeah.
Ole Miss hired somebody 4 hours later. And
Well,
and
that
it
was a promotion, but still, yeah, you are right.
hired somebody,
Yeah.
right?
They
Okay,
had an idea before Lane left.
probably.
which is good
But
for them.
Penn State should have.
Yeah.
Why did
No,
they
I
not
know
have an
that.
idea?
Yeah, yes.
I'm disagreeing with you. Penn State
Yeah.
should have had. They should have been like Ole Miss. All right, LSU. We know Brian Kelly gets fired. Lane Kiffin is allegedly the head coach there. We'll see how that goes. Memphis. Ryan Silverfield goes to Arkansas. The job has not been taken yet. I am not trying to wish this upon anybody in particular, but apparently Jerry Mack, who's Kennesaw State's head coach right now, is from
Mhm.
Memphis, and they've had a pretty good year this year.
Yeah.
So I don't really want him to leave for personal, selfish reasons, but I've seen that thrown out there. North Texas, Eric Morris leaves to go to Oklahoma State. Oh, Neil
Bill
Brown.
Brown.
Yep.
Neil Brown had a great run at Troy.
Yep.
Coached our boy J.L. Gaston.
That's right. Can I
Sure
say
did.
something about the Neil Brown thing at West Virginia?
Please do.
So he got fired. I think his buyout was like $1 million a year. I'm not really sure how many years he was going to get paid that.
Mm-hmm.
So their contract in the buyout was that they were going to pay him $1 million a year. Once he got a job, they were going to subtract the salary he made from that job.
Yeah.
And pay him up to the $1 million. Okay.
Classic contract.
Right. So Neil Brown, Texas hires Neil Brown as an offensive analyst
Mm-hmm.
and pays him
Don't-
the administration minimum.
Oh no,
of
I knew
$26,000.
I knew you were gonna say that. So that way West Virginia still got to pay him all that money.
Paying him, because he's
Like,
making $1 million regardless.
Classic.
Yeah.
So why would you pay him?
Yeah.
Why would you pay him?
And that might
Make him
happen a lot. This is the first
Make
time
him a
I've heard of it,
volunteer.
but I think it's hilarious. Like it's so funny to me that happened.
Well, that's
How
what
much
they get
how
for
was it,
making these.
D?
Do what?
How much was it?
The what he was making in Texas.
Yeah.
I heard 26,000.
Cool-wee.
They're
That's a
still
smooth. That's a smooth 975,000 that they're paying per year. The Mountaineers, while they're paying
Oh,
Rich
wow.
Rod as well.
yeah.
All right. Um, Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy got fired after 21 years. Like we just said, hired Eric Morris just recently. You talked about Oregon State. Trent Bray got fired. Jamarcus Shepard gets hired. Penn State, James Franklin gets fired, and they hired nobody yet. Crazy.
I'm gonna throw my hat. I'm gonna throw
Stanford,
my hat.
huh?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
throw
know
another
what?
hat.
They would give you a pretty realistic look.
Oh
Hey,
gosh, I gotta tell y'all something. Um, you're probably gonna get to UAB. I'm assuming at some point.
It's just a couple away.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Stanford, they had the interim. They fired a guy in the offseason. They had the interim, Frank I don't know how you say his
Right.
last name. Reich. All right. They hired Tavita Pritchard, plays quarterback at Stanford for Harbaugh. They upset USC. He's a Stanford guy. Also, Andrew Luck's a Stanford guy. He's a GM.
nope.
Tavita Pritchard. He was with the Commanders as a quarterback coach. Tulane, John Sumrall, left to go to Florida, as we already mentioned. They don't have anybody hired yet, as far as I know. My Tulane intel has not gotten in touch with me yet.
Dang.
UAB, Trent Dilfer gets nixed in the middle of the season. Alex Mortensen, his first game as the interim, they go and beat Memphis, who was ranked highly at the time. And Alex Mortensen has now been named as the head coach. Griff, go ahead.
I don't know if
This
this
is
is
in Griff's
true.
backyard, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true because I didn't go look at it when I heard it, and then I
Dangerous.
heard it last night on the way back from Coleman, Alabama, and I
Okay.
think by the time I got home, maybe it was maybe when I got home a couple of hours after I got home, it was announced that Alex Mortensen was the interim. I heard that UAB posted their head coaching vacancy on either LinkedIn or Indeed or something like that.
Hmm.
Great place to look. A lot of people looking for jobs there.
Indeed, it is not a very good place to look
It's,
for a head coach.
you might find a great manager or CEO.
Yeah,
Maybe the
maybe.
CFP should put their job openings on Indeed.
That's actually a pretty good idea. I would apply. I
I'm
would
going to
apply.
Oh
apply.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But they would never do it. They're too prideful.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Rats.
UCLA, Deshaun Foster gets fired after a year and a half. They hire Bob Chesney from James Madison. Now I'm guessing Bob Chesney's going to keep coaching at James Madison until their season's over, right?
I would assume so. I don't
I'm
know.
guessing.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
I don't know. All right, UConn, Jim Mora leaves. Grip, what's the quarterback's name? Come on, buddy.
Joe Fagnano.
There he is. All right, no head coach. They have not hired a guy yet. They're probably pretty upset Jim Moore is leaving because he did a great job there.
Yeah.
USF, Alex Golish leaves, take the Auburn job. They hire Brian Hartline,
Mm.
OC, longtime receiver coach of Ohio State. That might be. I mean, that's a big time hire for a
That is a
G5 school.
huge pull for USF. I mean,
I mean,
I
huge.
mean, that's a splash hire for
Yes,
them.
sir.
it's
That
big time.
honestly, you know what? Aside from the James Franklin hire, that one might be the best pull of the entire
Yes.
I
thing.
think that's the best get by anybody
Yeah, I think it
as
is
far
better
as where your
than
school
right.
is and who you brought in. I think
Right.
that's the best
That's who
get so
Penn
far.
State should have. That's who Penn State should have been firing after
I
the
think they
entire
were.
time.
I think they were interested in him.
You tell me Penn State,
They dropped the ball.
the people sitting with the AD around a table at Penn State have got their thumbs in places they shouldn't be, and they're just sitting there looking at
Ooh,
each other. Is what it
ooh,
seems like.
dangerous, son. Dangerous. Yeah, it's a great get for USF. Really good. And then the
Hmm.
last one in FBS, Virginia Tech, Brent Pry gets fired. They hired James Franklin about 3 weeks away from the end of the season. The
Mm.
second best hire, I think, of the coaching carousel so far. I mean, Lane Kiffin's up there too. It's just crappy the way it happened and all that. But anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
Hey, you know where
Um,
Virginia Tech is in the recruiting rankings now?
Ooh.
high.
Let me guess.
25. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
they're
Yeah.
pretty high, dude. They're pretty high. What'd you say?
I
What
said
rank?
25 compared
25.
to
Yeah,
Penn State, who is sub 160.
225.
140 behind that. Or
Yes,
Yeah,
more. 140 or
more.
more.
yeah, yeah. So.
Seven
So
boys.
there we go. There's your coaching carousel. There's your updates we've got. Like I said, I'll work on the Coastal Carolina thing. Okay. We
All right.
we will try to leak that and get that out there.
That would be
Now, I
huge.
will never tell my source, but we'll get it leaked out there. Okay. Because I can't have
Breaking
my
news pad level episode.
I
What'd you
can't
say, dude?
have
I said breaking news pad level episode. It will be 16 seconds long, but it will be the most viewed podcast
it'll
episode probably in history.
it'll it'll just be a TikTok. I'll just do it on TikTok. How about that? And I'll tag at Coastal Carolina football, at Josh Pate, at CFB, at CFB.
No, no.
At
What you
Hugh
do?
Freeze. Hugh
What?
Freeze needs to go to Penn State. That's
Ooh,
all they have left. Who else are they going to get?
ooh, ooh.
Coastal will get Hugh Freeze before Penn State
I'll tell
does.
you. I'll tell you what the thing to do on social media is just to go on there and do like Coastal Carolina head coach with the eye looking to the side emoji, and you just let people be like doing their speculation. And then when they hire a coach, you're like, see, I told y'all. I
I
told
knew
y'all.
I knew it the whole
I knew it.
time,
I
dude.
mean, I told y'all. I
That's what
told
the
y'all to
people on
look
the
out
message
for it.
boards do. Message
I
boards do that all the
swear.
time. I
They're
mean,
like,
they
oh, they're
just
like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe what's gonna happen. And then radio silence, and then when it happens, they're like, see, yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
yeah,
Come to me for
classic,
all your
man.
information.
Classic.
Jake, do you
Yeah.
know
Yes.
do you know how the Auburn search went down like the last week?
Well, they interviewed Summerall right, and then he bailed, and so they had to go to next Plan B or whatever.
Yeah, so also owned Crane and Company. Jake Crane he's got some inside intel from Auburn sources
Mm.
that John Summerall was like the guy probably
Yeah,
4 days before the Iron Bowl,
yeah.
and they were asking him about keeping DJ Durkin, blah blah blah, and he said, I'll give him an interview, give him a chance to win the job, blah or whatever." So he goes, back to Tulane, and him and his agent catch wind that DJ Dirk or that Auburn is trying to write up a contract extension for DJ Durkin, and he's like, "WTF? I thought they said I could interview him," and so he bailed. That was the reason for bailing. Now John Summerall's agent is also the agent of Alex Golish,
Clint Dowdle.
and so Alex Golish basically said, "I don't care. I'm not laughing. I'm going Auburn." Because it was DJ Durkin, what I heard, until like 2 o'clock Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It was DJ Durkin all the way up, and then bam, Alex Golish gets hired on
He
Sunday.
signed the papers within like 30 minutes of talking to him. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I would
That's
have.
it's crazy, man. I mean, it's crazy how you just never know who they're gonna hire until they actually sign the line.
Right.
You know, you
Just
just you, you
that
just
quick. It switches.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
never know until they actually sign it. You just never know.
Yep.
Yeah. Y'all know how many
So
guys USC has signed, or
Oh,
they're the number
30,
one class right now.
32.
35.
mm,
They have 35 high school signees, which is another issue.
that's
I know we
awesome.
already talked about the calendar. Is another issue because you're going and signing high school guys, and you don't even know what's gonna be leaving you or what's coming in. I mean,
Right.
that's another reason the transfer portal needs to be. Heard somebody had a good analogy. It's like going grocery shopping, but you don't even look to see what you have at home. You just go out and start buying stuff,
Yeah.
and you
That
come
was
Yeah, I
our
heard
back.
that
David
too.
Pollock.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
think that's
right.
who it was.
That's right.
But yeah,
Yeah, so y'all think transfer portal should be before
signing day, high school signing day.
Yes.
Agreed.
Just make one signing day in February like normal.
Yep.
Have the semester where you can get in school, and that way you're not really pushing. You're keeping the purity of the season if you do that. Because
Mm-hmm.
now there's no, I mean, guys are just willy nilly freaking all over the
Mm-hmm.
place, you know. So, boys, that's good. Now we got some games to talk about, some conference championship games. Who knows how much longer these games actually happen? So we got to enjoy them while we got them.
True.
That's right.
They're gonna be great games. We're gonna start on Friday. Um, we're gonna start with the Owls of Kennesaw State playing the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State at Jacksonville State, a rematch that was also at Jacksonville State. The cool thing about these four games that are on Friday night is they're all at the home stadium of the home team, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, so it's basically for some of the teams like a home playoff game to get in the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs if you win. Now some not, but it's still a home game. All right, Kennesaw State's favored by 2.5, which has surprised me because Kennesaw State lost by 9 to them a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the over/under is 60.5, boys.
Whew, that's high.
When they played last time, it was 35-26, so that would be 61 points. So their thing is going to be very similar again on how many points are scored.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to start? Because I'll finish that baby off.
I like Kennesaw to win this one. They had a lot of turnovers in the first game against Jacksonville State. A lot of missed opportunities. I
Lots.
think they clean it up this game. I think they cover the spread. I would like, and if I'm not going to, but if I were going to bet on the total, I would take the under
Oh,
because I think that Kennesaw having the turnovers flip the momentum pretty quick. JSU goes down to score. JSU also had a touchdown right before halftime, if I remember correctly,
Yes.
oh,
or right like legit at halftime.
not only a touchdown and a half, it was a touchdown where it was a Hail Mary,
Right.
and the Owls went and tried to pick it off two guys, and they just tipped it right up to him like Miracle and Jordan Hare, and the guy just camps under it and walks right in the end zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So not to say they could score 80 points, but I think that it will take Kennesaw sustaining drives and not turning the ball over, which I think they will not do in this game. I like Kennesaw to cover. Let's go Owls.
Okay,
Reginald.
babe.
Yep. I like Kennesaw as well. I agree. The turnover thing. I think they had what 3 or 4 maybe. Was it 3?
I think they had
Um,
4 total, 3 picks.
okay. So I mean, even if they return back to like the average of 1 or 2, that game is completely different. And also the touchdown right before halftime. Yeah, and Jake, it's not like it was just they were on the 8-yard line and they schemed up a play to score. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
talking 50+ yard
It
Hail
was a
Mary,
Hail Mary.
freaking
Yeah.
just
If you knock the ball down, you
magic
go to
play.
half.
Yeah. So give me Kennesaw. I feel like they had way too many mistakes and still had a chance in that last one. So give me KSU to cover that one.
Yeah. Yes, I am also um gonna take Kennesaw State. Yes, they turned the ball over way too much in that game. I mean, they just some bad turnovers. I mean, one of them was a pick in the end zone. It was like he got confused and just lobbed it right to a defender in the end zone. Um, the and I got to see him. I got to see the boys live a few weeks ago. All right, those dudes on offense can throw the ball with anybody almost in the country. I bet
Mm.
they if they're in open field, they are throwing the ball and they're hitting big plays. Now, the other thing, they can run the ball a little bit too. Now, the scary thing for Kennesaw State is the running attack of the quarterback and running back in Jacksonville State is scary.
Their running back's the leading rusher in the country right now.
He is good. His name's Cam Cook. The
Mm.
quarterback, I'm blanking on his name. That joker can
Caden
get
Creel.
gone. Creel. That joker can get gone like that. Both of those dudes are game changers. You've got to contain them. You've got to. I'd say I'm going to make you beat us in the air. I would not. I would try to stop the run. Now, um, I said this a few weeks ago. I've said it all year, and it's still true. Kennesaw State plays around too much in these games. They'll go up and get a lead, and they'll let the team come right back, tie it up, take the lead, and they got to come back and win in the end. They have got to start fast, and they've got to freaking put their foot on the throat. All right, I'm sorry, it might be just a little bit too graphic for some of you kids out there. You got to take that cleat and you got to put it on the throat. All right, when you're up by 14 or up by 10, you got to put the foot on the throat, put the cleat on the throat, and you got to keep scoring. Okay, that's what you got to do.
Yep.
And I don't know if Kennesaw State can do it, but I don't think they turn the ball over as much. And if Jacksonville State throws a Hail Mary, they just knock it down this time. You know, try to freaking pick it off. But then I say that Missouri State, they threw a Hail Mary and they picked it off, and the guy ran it back. So maybe they don't know their lesson, but they're not going to turn the ball over as much. Kennesaw State covers. Next game. This has got playoff implications. Troy at JMU. Troy fought their freaking way into this Sun Belt Championship game by beating Southern Miss the last weekend of the season. It's basically a play-in game for that. Whoever won that was going to play JMU, and
Mm-hmm.
Troy's in it. They got to go up to Harrisonburg, Virginia. I'll start. JMU is a 23.5 point favorite, and the over/under is 47.5. Here's what I think. You take the over. James Madison has been scoring 50 points the last 3 or 4 weeks. You take the over. They might do it on their own. The Troy's a good football team, but I don't think they're going to be enough to match up with JMU. As much as it hurts me, man, I want the Alabama team to win, obviously. Um, but give me JMU. I don't know to cover, but I would definitely go over that 47.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that too. I think I like JMU to cover. I don't think Troy has
Ooh.
enough. James Madison has been playing extremely well lately. As much
Hmm.
as I hate it, I think congratulations to Troy for playing themselves into it. Also, I would like to say this: there are 9 conferences in the country, and the state of Alabama has 3 teams playing in a conference championship. So, round of applause to the state of Alabama, the great state. Um, but yeah, give me James
Powerhouse.
Madison. I think they cover. I think the over hits. Um, but you know,
Yeah, I'm gonna take James Madison. Um, too much. Troy, yeah, like you said, great job getting in. Great job beating Southern Miss. I didn't think it was like the beginning of the year. I was like, yep, they're gonna be in, and then they lost some games. I was like, yep, they're gonna be out, and they
hmm
fought
Yeah,
back, got
yeah,
back into it. But JMU just, man, they look good all
yeah,
year, and
yeah,
I think they're gonna be
yeah.
too much. And this is a playing, hopefully playing game, or they're hoping it's a playing game for them to get in the playoffs. So I think there's no taking the foot off the pedal there.
Oh,
there are
no doubt, no
a
doubt.
lot of Duke fans. James Madison Duke fans are fans of the Duke Blue Devils as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would certainly put them in the playoff.
Yep.
Yep, no doubt. Next one, UNLV at Boise State. They're going to play on the some people call it the Smurf turf, the blue field. Boise State 4.5 point favorites, 59.5 over under. Um, boys, I'm going to tell you this: Boise State covers, and I think you go over.
Yeah,
Right, you are. I'm gonna say the exact same thing.
UNLV, they're probably on their way, but they're not there yet with old Danny Mull. But
the
Boise
Danny
State is
Mall.
probably going to be more physical than they are. Um, both team, I mean, UNLV can score some points. Probably Boise State's defense is just too good for them. And I think they score 60 total, and I think that Boise State covers the 4.5.
Yep.
I concur. That's all I'll say.
Yep, good, good, good. Now, another big one. This is a playoff game.
Yeah.
The winner gets into the playoffs.
Hmm.
Okay. North Texas goes to New Orleans to play Tulane. They're gonna travel there tomorrow. No, they're probably there. They're in New Orleans tonight, baby.
Yeah.
The Mean Green is in New Orleans tonight. They're at the hotel. They're probably, hopefully, in bed, getting rested up. Now the game's at like freaking 8 p.m. probably, but whatever. North Texas is favored -2.5. Over under 67.5. All right. Here's where I'm going with that. I'm picking North Texas to win, and I think they'll win by 3, even though it's in New Orleans. I think North Texas scores too many points. Tulane's defense is probably one of the best in the American. Well, North Texas offense is just too good.
North
And
Texas
I'm going to
offense is like the
go,
best in the country.
yeah, I'm going to go also, you ready for this? Over 67.5.
I think North Texas is going to win. I would take, oh my gosh, I think I would take the under on this because North Texas has shown the ability to turn the ball over throughout the season.
Especially against USF.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
That was terrible.
Um, but I do think North Texas will end up winning the game. This is the only playoff game, and if I'm looking at it correctly, where both teams, if you win, you're in. If you lose, you're out. Well, yes, yeah, because BYU Texas Tech, if BYU wins, both are in. So Texas Tech is not in that situation. Georgia's not in that situation either. Indiana, Ohio State, they're both in regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You can say Duke and Virginia only if JMU loses, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But just want to throw that out there. So this is the only winning your end game for both teams.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
North Texas. Even the Mean Green fight machine.
Playoff game. Yep.
A lot of green, a lot of green. Give me North Texas to win it. North Texas has scored 50 plus in 8 games this year.
Yes.
2/3 of their schedule, they've scored 50 plus.
100%, man.
And that would be
Take
six
the
out
over.
of their last 7. They've scored 50 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the over and give me North Texas to cover it, smother it, dice, chunk, and cap it.
Don't talk Waffle House to me, because I'll make a trip right after
It's
we
not
get
late
done.
enough yet.
Well,
Yeah. They're not open
Gotta wait
yet.
till Friday morning, the wee hours.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, I've just realized I've picked the over on all 4 of those games. So I hope there's a lot of offense on Friday night tomorrow. All right,
A lot of
now
fireworks.
we're going to jump to Saturday. The rare maction on a Saturday. Miami of Ohio versus Western Michigan. Western Michigan's favored by 1.5. The over-under is 42.5. All right, hear me out on this. I'm thinking under the 42.5. I know that's not a whole lot of points. But some of these matching games, especially when teams are really duking it out, there's not a whole lot of scoring going on, at least the games I saw during the weeks this year.
Mm-hmm.
The only times I've really seen the scores get high is when these Western Michigan or Miami Ohio's are playing the lower teams in the MAC. When they're playing a decent team in the MAC, there's not a whole lot of scoring going on.
Yep.
So I am taking Western Michigan. I think they're better. It's basically a pick 'em. It's 1.5, and I'm going under. They're not going to score more than 6 touchdowns in this game total.
And that's fair. Yeah, I'm taking Western Michigan as well. Miami, Ohio's quarterback left like
Oh
4
yeah,
weeks ago
that's
for
right.
draft prep.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Give me
Is
Western.
that Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah. No,
Because if it's
not.
not, then
It's
I don't
not.
think he should be.
Daquan Finn. You ever heard of him? No.
Yeah. He played at Toledo, and then he played at
Miami, Ohio.
no,
Not
it was somewhere Baylor last year, I think is where he was.
All right. Well, whatever.
Anyways, sorry. Yeah, Western Michigan, I like them to avenge their only MAC loss of the year against the Red Hawks of Miami. I agree. I don't think they're going to score. I don't know. Oh gosh. Actually, no. Give me the under. Give me the under. I think it's
Mm,
gonna be close to it though. I think it's gonna be real. I think it's gonna be like 24-20. So give me like. Well, I can say that would be over.
that would
Oh,
be
give me the
over.
over. Give me the over. Western Michigan, 24-20. Give
I'm
me that
thinking
half
more
point.
like I'm thinking more like 17-13.
Okay.
You could always buy it up though.
Now, also, this game
Points.
is in a dome too, so the elements won't be a factor.
I understand. I understand.
All right. Well, it's
I
your loss.
understand. Not a whole lot of points, boys. Not a whole lot of points. Let's get into the P4 real quick. A rematch. One of the three rematches we're gonna have on Saturday. Wait, one, two. There are three rematches. Sorry if I said that wrong. There are three rematches. One of the three. BYU, Texas Tech are going to play in where? Arlington, Texas, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Texas Tech's favored by 12 and a half. That's more than they were favored in the regular season. It was like 10 and a half, I think. The over-under is 49 and a half. That's 7 total touchdowns right below it. You got to go more than that to win or to go over. Uh, I'm I got burned twice on um, picking against Big 12 teams with 10 and a half point favorites. I would go plus 10 and a half because I thought there's no way. I got burned on it twice. Um, so I'm going Texas Tech minus 12 and a half. And then I'm going to go over. And this is why I'm going over. Because in the game that they played in the regular season, how many field goals do you think Texas Tech kicked in that game? Do you know?
Hold on.
Think, Dalton. Put your hand down, Grip.
4,
Five.
5.
And three of them were in the red zone. So if you tack on 12 more points, that gets you to 41 to 7. That gets you to 48. That's over. That's not over, but it's close. But I'm taking the over because I think they actually put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like Texas Tech to cover this one. I want to pick BYU so bad. I just don't. The only way that I see BYU being able to keep this within 12 or possibly win, and I'm not saying this to wish anything on anybody, is if Baron Morton does not stay healthy for the majority of the game, which is a possibility. He has been injury prone this year. I feel like he stayed healthy the past few games, but that if he ends up going out with some kind of injury, I think that's when BYU is going to have a chance to, because Will Hammond's out for the season, the backup. So, but give me Texas Tech. Barring any injuries or anything, give me Texas Tech to cover the 12 and a half. And yes, Jake, I like the over as well.
Yep.
Texas Tech
Yes.
minus 12.5 over.
Oh, wow. Dangerous. Our second rematch. This will be, I think it's a 4 p.m. Eastern start time, 3 p.m. Central. Um, Georgia versus Alabama in Atlanta, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in ATL. Georgia's favorite minus 2.5, and the over/under is 47.5. Okay, Georgia about 6 to 7 weeks ago, I changed my SEC championship pick to Georgia. It was Alabama, and then I changed it to Georgia. Okay, on the last episode, I posted the TikTok for proof, which is just an excerpt from the podcast episode I did that week. And I'm sticking with that. Now, also, I'll throw out a comment of the week because it's relevant here. Carter, which is Max Carter, said Kirby is going to get it done and break the curse versus Bama this weekend. And I agree. I agree. Georgia minus 2.5. They win by 3. And 47.5. I'm going under that bad boy. I'm not going over. All right. They scored 45 in the last game. I think it'll be very similar scoring wise. So give me Georgia minus 2.5 and under 47.5 points scored.
Yeah.
I totally agree with both of those.
I mean, Ty Simpson is not playing as good as he was playing at that time of the season right now.
No.
Georgia is playing better than they were
Yes.
at that time.
Georgia can rush the passer. Yes, they're gonna. And Alabama struggles with blocking the pass rushers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jam Miller and Josh Cuevas are both out
Yep.
for Alabama. It is just so hard for me to pick Georgia to lose to Alabama after everything that's happened the past several years. I feel like it's something that Georgia just can't do. But I'm going to take Georgia minus the 2.5. I just think, like I said, with Cuevas and Jam Miller out, Ty Simpson has not been very impressive lately. Georgia was not impressive against Georgia Tech, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were kind of coasting through that game a little bit. Just to give me Georgia to cover. And yeah, I think I like the under too. I'd probably buy it up to 49.5, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Of course you would. Perfect. D, what you got, man?
Georgia minus 2.5.
Georgia minus 2.5.
I picked Georgia like the last 45 times they played Alabama, and Alabama's won all of them. But the streak stops here. It can't go on forever.
You're saying that the buck stops here.
Yeah, maybe it can go on forever, but I'm not gonna pick it to go on forever.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Now,
all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Does Bama stay in the playoffs if they lose this game?
Yeah.
I think it depends on how they lose, but probably.
All right, if they lose by 10.
Yeah. I think they're still in.
14.
They're in.
21.
They're in.
28.
They're in.
No.
I think they're going to keep in no matter what.
If they get beat by 4 touchdowns in the conference championship game sitting at number, 9, 10 right now?
It's an extra game. It's an extra game for them. Notre Dame's sitting at the house.
I know that.
Right? Especially if BYU loses.
Why would BYU then? That's an extra game for them, and they have a better record.
I think they keep them in. Imagine this. Imagine. I don't care if it's Alabama or not. I don't care if it's Alabama or not. It could be Vandy, right? Let's say it's Vandy. And they're in the SEC championship game. And the SEC championship runner-up does not get into the playoffs.
I agree.
It ain't happening. They're going, whoever it is, it could be freaking Kentucky. And Kentucky's getting in if they're that team.
All right.
We'll see.
It's happening. Okay. It's happening.
What if you had a scenario like Duke in the SEC and that
well, that's different. That's different. It's different because these teams are both ranked they're in the playoff already.
Oh, you're saying if they're already ranked in it.
Yeah, I'm not saying like if they're down like Duke. I'm saying if they're both in there already, especially already in there. Yeah, 100%. That's gonna keep them in. And I understand like if they get blown out, sure there'll be a question, but they're gonna be in. I think. And I don't know anything. Also, with this committee, you don't know freaking anything.
No.
Okay, let's go to Indiana versus Ohio State. This is I think it's Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. So it's in the home state of Indiana, so they may have a little bit of home field advantage, but Ohio State fans travel, so that's not a big deal. Ohio State's favored by 4.5, and the over/under is 47.5. I'm going under, and I'm going to pick Ohio State to cover the 4.5. And I will tell you why. I think it's going to be close. I could see it being like a 7 point, 9, 10 point game. I think Ohio State just overmatches them. And now that's hard for me to say because Indiana's looked pretty dang good. They beat Oregon pretty dang good, even with throwing a pick six.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State beats them. They might just big brother them, honestly.
Yeah. I want to pick Indiana, just same thing as BYU. I want to pick Indiana really bad. I'd love to see them win it. I trust Ohio State too much.
Yep, 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 yep.
It's that's the thing for me. It's just a trust meter.
Hmm.
Julian Sand
Nice.
is surgical with his
Yep,
accuracy. Is what 79% completion
pretty
this
good.
year. I mean,
Pretty good.
absolutely unfreaking believable.
Hmm.
Um, so he's only got sacked 6 times. Now, Indiana's defense, I think the difference from last year to this year, that this game that they played last year, I think Indiana's defense is much improved. I think the offense is virtually the same. I think Mendoza can move around a little bit more, but I think the defense is the main. Indiana's defense is the main thing. Ohio State is as good or better than they were last year. Give me Ohio State to win. I think they win it by about 7 or 10, like you said, Jake.
Um, all really good points. I'm going to take Indiana.
Thank you,
Thank
please,
you.
thank you
I'm
so
glad
much.
somebody broke the freaking
You know
streak.
what? You talk about trust meter, and I get it. Ohio State's been good for a long time, but this is year 2 of Indiana being. I know last year they didn't really play anybody in the regular season until they played
Ohio
Well,
State.
they
Ohio
played
State
Ohio State,
and
yeah,
got trounced. I get it.
yeah, big boy,
This
yeah.
year they had that game against Oregon,
Hmm.
and they went to Oregon and beat them by 10. Man, I trust this Indiana team a good bit. Do I trust Ohio State more? Yes. But I trust Kurt Signetti more than I trust Ryan Day. I
Hey,
do.
all it takes is one any given Saturday.
Dude, I'm telling you. And they're in Indiana, all right? And I get it. That ain't that far from Ohio, sure. But, man, I like Indiana. I like the way they're playing. They had that one close call against Penn State. Don't care. They came back and won it.
I'm
Don't
glad you picked
care.
them.
I don't. It's all valid to me. I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna fight you on any of it. I think it's all very valid.
Fight me. No, I'm kidding. Don't really fight me.
Be the last day we fight anybody. Last game of the night, Saturday night, that is. The biggest chaos maker of the weekend, possible chaos maker. Duke will play Virginia in Charlotte, North Carolina. I will be in attendance. I will be at the game. Just kidding, I won't be. But it's not that far from me.
No, dang.
ACC championship game. Uh, Virginia's only favored by 4.5. They played a few weeks ago, and I think Virginia won by 17 or something.
Yeah.
The over/under is 57.5. Who wants to go here?
I'm taking Virginia, but I would love it if Duke won.
It would be so
Eh,
interesting.
Shake it up.
It would
I
be
want to
interesting.
see Duke win, and then
Shake
I
it
want to
up.
see
Shake it up.
Georgia beat Bama by 5 touchdowns, and I want to see JMU jump Bama in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Woo!
golly.
Oh man.
That would be the
Dang,
joy of my
son.
life.
Wow.
Yeah, I
You're
got
not biased at
Virginia.
all.
Nah, I'm as biased as the CFP committee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I've got Virginia. I've got Virginia to cover this easily. Give me the Who's by like 20. I don't know. Virginia turned the ball over, I think 4 or maybe 5 times in this first matchup, and they still won by 17. Come on, man. I like Virginia. Duke. Hey, like you said, somebody gets with Troy. Great job making the conference championship. Who would have thought?
Not me.
This is where it ends. Virginia, I think, is going to trounce these kids,
Mm,
and it's gonna be
wow.
fun to watch. It's
Hero
gonna be
trip.
fun to watch. Congratulations to the Cavaliers on getting into the playoffs. Great job, man.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Bold. Yeah. Duke's gonna have the biggest fan base they've ever had for a football game going into this.
Yeah.
From parts of the country they don't even know exist. And it's not gonna be enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Virginia will beat them by 5, probably times 3 or so. And I would probably go under 57.5 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's what, 8 touchdowns total. Yeah, I'll go into that. Yeah, let's go into that though. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. What else? What else you gentlemen got, man?
Whew. Lord.
We just hit every single game. We just hit every single game of the FBS weekend, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
This was a fun episode because I feel like we got to talk about more of the stuff outside of the games.
Yeah.
I think we still kept it on about
Right.
the same time frame as we usually do, but we talked about all the conference championship games. We were able to talk more about this calendar deal was the main thing that I was wanting to talk about. So I
Yeah,
thought it was good. I thought we had a lot of good information.
I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was great, and we did get more time to talk about some other stuff just because not as many games, obviously. Um, and speaking of that, some people are watching saying, "Well, what's going on here? I need to hear some playoff talk from some FCS D2 and D3." Don't worry, that's gonna be coming out in its own episode, so be on the lookout. I'm hoping to publish these about the same time tomorrow. So be on the lookout tomorrow if you're listening right now. Check us out, Spotify and YouTube. I also just saw, man, on YouTube, we just hit 50 hours of watch time. 50 hours.
Hey,
Dang. That's
that's
pretty cool.
good.
Hey,
Let's go.
listen, listen, 50 hours, dude. Man, that's more than 2 days, brother. Wow. Great. Let's make it 50 million. How about that? 50 million. Let's just make it a
50
clean
million
50.
subscribers.
Mm, even better.
That all that is an hour per person, and you
Yeah.
got 50 million. I like that. That's a great thinking right there. Let's do that instead. Okay, no more nonsense. We've gone through a lot of great stuff here on pad level this evening. Um, I can't wait for you to watch. I'm glad you're here watching this. We appreciate you being here. We enjoyed the piss out of this. We're fired up about the weekend, conference championship weekend, playoff play-in game weekend here in the first weekend of December. There will be some adversity for me tomorrow and Saturday with Christmas dinner parties. Schedule them another weekend, please. Look at the college football schedule and schedule it a week later. The
That's the
12th.
only that's
No
the only
football
good
games.
thing about the space between conference championship and the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It
Hey,
gives it get we're giving you a week to do all the stuff. Pick that week. Don't pick the wrong week. What, Dick?
but you know what? If you were to just play the games in succession and you end on December 26th, have your party December 27th. You're right
Listen,
around Christmas time.
do it right after
You're not
Christmas.
even that late.
You're not
People are
that late.
still doing holiday celebrations.
You're basically on time.
Yes,
Basically on time, right?
fashionably late. Some people call
And everybody does that nowadays. That's just
them. Yeah,
in to be
that's the
fashionably
cool
in.
thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I meant to bring this up. I have not hung this up yet. This is the first edition of uh sending something in to put on the wall here. This is from old Paul here. These are stamps with Bear Bryant on them. This is going to go up, I'm thinking, right there, somewhere right in that area. It's been a busy week, man. It's been busy. I've had something to do every night, right? Right now, folks, if you don't know this, Eastern time, it's 11:37 here on a Thursday night. So we are making it happen no matter freaking what. Usually we do this on a Wednesday. We're recording on a Thursday. We don't care. We're gonna get it done one way or the other. Okay. All right. So thank you for being here. We really, really appreciate you if you're listening. If you are listening, take the free step. It's free. Subscribe, like, follow, rate, comment. Hell, call us. I don't care. If you got our number, call us if you'd rather.
Hey, we'll drop Dalton's phone number. Call him day or night,
Yeah,
whatever you want
yeah.
to.
Anytime.
Yes.
Work, not work, whatever. And listen, if you call him and say, hey, I don't know how to subscribe or whatever, we'll tell you. If you want to post a comment, don't know how, we'll post it for you. And we'll even put, hey, your name is so and so told us to do this. We'll do it for you. Right? Now, when we got 50 million followers, we probably can't do that. But now we got the option to do it.
But
right?
we will absolutely try.
Oh, we will certainly try.
Yep.
100% we'll try. All right. So thank you for being here because we really got after this episode. This 2+ hours. I don't know what it is because Wi-Fi stinks, but
Hour 56, hour 57.
really, well, I thought it was
Right
2+.
under the cusp.
I can't believe that. Well, I'm going to try to get this to you as soon as possible. You know, I'm a terrible producer, but I somehow get it done every time. Just
Oh, you'll live
a
forever.
blind hog finds a dang nut every now and then. There's a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So, whatever. Okay. Now, immunity. Immunity. All right. Okay. All right. Listen, we love you so much. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Uh, and you know what? Take some of these things we talked about, the calendar and stuff. Take it, go talk to your friends about it and say, hey, this is what we think might be cool. And if they say something different, bring it back to us.
Drop it in the comments, man. We want to see
great.
your ideas.
This
Our
is
ideas
this
suck.
is
Well, their ideas, not it. They
Right.
said it all. Did their ideas
Right.
suck? Are they good? Do you want to keep them? Should we not? We need to know.
Criticize.
we are giving you the keys to victory to win the water cooler every day at work. This is it. This is what
Oh,
you
yeah,
use
buddy.
for water
100%.
cooler talk. Win the water cooler, baby. You don't want to sound like an idiot to your coworkers.
Some might call it the scuttlebutt.
Mm.
Win the scuttlebutt.
If you want to be the scuttlebutt champion, make sure you're listening. Make sure you're tuned in. Folks, this is Pad Level. We've got Conference Championship weekend. I cannot stress this enough. Keep your eyes up and your pad level low as we go into Conference Championship weekend because you never know when adversity could strike. You never know when the big dog's coming to hit, right? If you got the low pads and eyes up, you can make a move or you can try to truck him right back. And that's all we do here. So thanks for being here on Pad Level. We love you so much, and we appreciate you being here. And we will be back again this weekend. Thank you so much. Have a great day, evening, morning, night, whatever it is.